y'all got to get some of these flex head air impacts. These things are awesome. I'm so glad I bought them. I've been wanting to try them out before I made a review video, and now I've had them for a couple months, and they just work great. First one I got was the Capri Tools, a 3/8 inch here, and then I went ahead and after seeing how well it worked, I got the Astro 1/2 inch model. I would have went with the Capri for the 1/2 inch as well, but they both had the same specs on the 1/2 inch, and the Astro was like $100 cheaper. So I went ahead and went with the Astro, and it has also worked very well. I did go with the Capri 3/8 over the Astro because of the, it's shorter. So overall, what makes these things so nice is the pancake style head. So I'm eyeballing it here. We're 2 7/8 total length of the head, and of course the handle itself here is flush. So 2 7/8. That's very, very compact. The 1/2 inch Astro comes in at about 3 5/16. And see the here, let me try to get it better on camera. Oh, it's not showing 3 5/16 on camera. Maybe 3 1/4. Anyways, so the Astro 3/8 model had the same body, just the anvil was changed. So the depth was the exact same, even though it was a 3/8 anvil. See, the anvil on this one is very strange. I've never had an impact like this, but it's very short. It's like a bullnose anvil. It still holds onto the socket very well. You can't really tell that it's shorter than normal. I mean, it's nice. I like that feature. But they're 3/8, like I said. It's like the same exact air impact. They just have the 3/8 head on there, which could be advantageous because probably the inner mechanisms inside are the same. So you're having 1/2 inch power on a 3/8 drive. But that I wasn't really looking for a whole bunch of power. I was looking for being able to get into tight spaces. These things, that's more than 90 degrees. It's like 93 degrees. And you can tilt it all the way back. Perfect, 90 degrees. So over 180 degrees of travel. Now, as some other reviewers have shown, yes, you can't reverse the switch back and forth when this thing's been all the way over, but that's no big deal at all. It's true with both of these. The Astro here also has the, okay, so it doesn't swivel as far back on the Astro as it does the Capri. So, and then obviously you go ahead and put an air hose swivel on here, and now you can get into any place. The handles also rotate, which is really nice on both of these. And you can tighten the nut here to add or decrease drag. So, I got about a medium amount of drag because I don't want the handle flopping around on me, but yeah, you can definitely tighten that up. Now, the Capri does have an adjustable exhaust here, so you can take this and point the exhaust wherever you want it, versus the Astro, the exhaust is fixed. And this thing, I don't know why, but when you use this, it smells like it's got vanilla extract in it. So, I don't know what they use to assemble this thing, but it smells pretty good when you use it. And then this is just for comparison. This is my stubby. They do make stubbier ones nowadays, but just to give you a reference there, a lot shorter. So, and then the full length, in case you were wondering, is the same on both of them, but it comes out to 10 and almost 15/16, but they're the same length. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and put these things to the test, see how well they do. Works great for removing the LS exhaust system clamp on GM. Upper shock bolts. Duramax motor mount bolts. torque converter bolts, bell housing bolts, power steering pump bolts, any bolts on the front of the motor. Granted, you could probably use a normal impact in there. This one just makes it easier, as there's plenty of room. Let's try the 1/2 inch on a balancer bolt. The GM53. Removing the balancer. Installing the balancer. Motor mount bolts. Well, I forgot to video it, but it reaches back in there for those hard to get to head bolts. Pulled it right out, but I'll pull some of these other head bolts so you can see that it does pull out the head bolts. This is a 7.4 Vortex 454. Now, I've read some bad reviews on these right angle impacts saying, well, they can't take the lug nuts off my truck. And they're right. They're not going to. That's not what they're meant for. And if that's what you're buying it for, well, you're buying the wrong tool. You need one of these. I'm going to go ahead and impact this down. Now, I'm going to show you how the 1/2 inch will not take that off. That's not what I bought it for. It's not what it's meant for. Okay, it took it off that time, but right before I made the video, I tried to take it off and I sat there for like a minute impacting and it did not remove it. Let's see if it'll do these others. Okay, well now it's working. Let me try torquing that one more time with the bigger impact. I can tell you for sure the 3/8 is not going to do it. Okay, so I don't know what happened. Apparently it works now, but trust me, I just tried it and it would not take that lug nut off after torquing it with the bigger impact. So as you can see, these things are very versatile and I use these things all the time. They've saved a lot of time. You know, this one works really good. You're working on 6.4 power strokes. You want to get the turbos off without removing the cab. You can get this thing in there and take off the EGR pipe bolts and a whole bunch of stuff that normally you'd be sitting there trying to use a wrench on. And you know, exhaust bolts, if you don't use an impact on them, the chances of them breaking off are a lot higher. So this thing is an absolute lifesaver. And I totally forgot, I actually have the Matco. I bought this years ago. They're 90-degree impact. This is before these things came out, and I never really used this one that much because you know, it's so long and it doesn't flex. It really doesn't have all that much power. You know, this one definitely feels like it's pushing more power than the Matco here, even though I think the Matco is rated on paper for more. The Capri definitely beats this one. I'm not even sure when I will ever use this one again. One more thing, all my tools, I always put air hose swivels on them. If you go on the Matco truck, you're looking $20 a piece, and I got a whole bunch of air tools. You're talking a lot of money. These are $5 each at Harbor Freight, and on the tools I don't use very often, they'll last years. On the ones I use every day, they go about 1 year before they start leaking. Sometimes as often as every 6 months, but usually they'll make it 1 year if it's my my normal 1/2 inch impact that I'm using every single day. But I've always been able to rebuild them with new O-rings, and they've held perfect. And if you want to get O-rings for them, here's the size, 1.9 by 9.8 McMaster car. I bought a bag of 100 of these things, and it was like, I don't know, just a few dollars. And these things, they last longer than the O-rings that come in these. So, good little tip there.